I wasn't good when I got home. I was in a dark place. I started drinking too much. I was on all sorts of medications, and so the medications with the drinking, it's fortunate I didn't end up killing myself, and I think that's happened to a lot of guys. I don't think some guys necessarily wanted to kill themselves, but I think they were just trying to self-medicate and drown their sorrows and drinking and the pills and just unfortunately we've lost a lot of guys that way. And I could have been one of them, but I recognized it and stopped doing it, and I went and got help.
How long was it, um, when you got after you got home from Afghanistan, how long was it before you were a civilian again?
It was a little bit. So they got back in 2010, and I got out in 2011. So it was about a year. It was about a year, and I remember somebody I had talked to. I kind of told them I was struggling and some stuff I was doing, and they went to my first sergeant and told him like, hey, Hickson's not going to speak up and stuff, but that dude is freaking struggling. Like he needs a break. And like I was going for, I told you I was deployed 04, 05, 06, 07. I had a break in 2008, but we were training the whole time and I was going to schools, and then I'm back in Afghanistan 2009. And I'm like, dude, I'm not a machine, I'm a human too. And so this sergeant first class went to bat for me, went and talked to my first sergeant. My first sergeant was like, "Oh, Hickson's struggling, and I'm not gonna lie, I think I was suicidal at the time." And I felt when I went home, because I didn't go home with the rest of the guys. I eventually, I was struggling so much in Afghanistan that they sent me home. I broke some fingers in my hand and stuff like that, and they're like, "Well, you can't hold a rifle anymore." And I was already 9, 10 months into the deployment, so they sent me home. And my first sergeant, I'd known him since he was a staff sergeant down at Fort Polk, down at First of the 509th. And he goes, "Hey man," he goes, "you've done enough. You've given us your all." He goes, "I'm making a decision for you." He goes, "You're done. You're going home." And I said, "Absolutely not." And he goes, "I'm going to say this one more time, and then we're going to have a problem." He goes, "You're getting on a helicopter and you're going home." And I was like, "Okay." So I went home in December of 2009. Right before I got home on December 1st, 2009. I had broken bones in my hands and stuff. I had shrapnel in me, and it was just time to call it quits. And I think that fucked me up because I felt like I was abandoning my guys. And then I just remember I came home and I just remember thinking about those guys and that they were in danger every day. And I was sitting at home drinking Crown Royal and freaking popping Percocets, to be honest, and eating all those medications they gave me. They had me on 8 medications a day, and I was like, and then I'd go home at night after I got off of work and I couldn't sleep, so I'd drink until I fell asleep. And you end up in dark places when you do this stuff. And I remember it was cold. It was cold. It was -20 outside. I'm living in Eagle River, Alaska at the time. And I woke up. I'd slept. I'd been sleepwalking, and I was just in my skivvies, and I was sitting on my front porch with a pistol on my lap. And that's when I realized I was like, "This isn't good. I need to get off these meds. I need to go get help." The nightmares were horrible. Just I kept reliving some of those moments, especially that one where we were in that firefight, and I was sitting pistol on my lap and contemplating shooting myself if I got captured. Yeah, coming home was some of the worst stuff, to be honest.
How did your fingers get broken?
So dumb enough, I grabbed me and a couple of the squad leaders. We had a new platoon sergeant at the time, showed up, and I went and talked to him, and I said, "Hey, look," I was like, "things have been bad since I went back to being a weapons squad leader. The other platoon sergeant the morale just sucks." I was like, we need to do something fun with these guys. We need to boost morale." I was like, "Everybody's sitting around playing video games. They're in there popping pills. They're sneaking liquor in country and stuff." And I was like, "We can't get these guys in trouble. It's just going to make the problem worse." I was like, we need to get him out. We need to get him playing some football or something like that. And so myself and a couple dudes organized a football game of all things. And this dude threw just a rocket pass at me, this new platoon sergeant, and it just hit my hand wrong and snapped two of my fingers. And so we go in, reset him and stuff like that. And Doc wraps me up and everything. And first sergeant's like, dude, you can't even hold a rifle right now. And I said, yeah, I can. It's my offhand. You know, it was my left hand. So I remember telling him that. And he was like, dude, you just got hurt way too much. He goes, you're done. You're done, dude. He goes, it's time to go home and no more football.
When we started talking about 9/11, and there you are, that teenager in New York. You're thinking, I want to respond to this, and so you
Yeah.
join the army with the intention of responding. Now you can look back on that kid who's at ground zero in New York, having these thoughts, and he goes to the army recruiter not long after. So when you look back on that kid now, after experiencing everything you've experienced since then, what do you think about that kid now?
Um, honestly, if I could talk to that kid, I would tell him, you probably should knock off all the partying and drinking and smoking weed with your buddies, and get your shit together. But honestly, I think that kid made a really good decision. I think that kid had some good parents that kind of saw that he was lost and needed some direction. And the army provided that. Honestly, would I change anything? Absolutely not. No. That that's that's defined me. I think my morals and ethics and discipline and stuff that I got from the military. I don't think I would have went to college for 6 years and got a degree in environmental sciences and a degree in geology if I wouldn't have raised my right hand. So I think that kid was just lost, and he had some good parents, and he saw something horrific happen to a place that he loved and respected, and he had really good mentors, people to look up to, and I decided that I wanted to take the same path that they took. My country needed me, and I was going to do what my uncles had done and what my mom and dad had done, and other people before us have done. I grew up in Tacoma, Washington, and going and visiting family in Pennsylvania, and then seeing Ground Zero on my way out before I flew out of JFK in December of 2001. That was it. When I saw that, I was like, I knew right then and there. And I remember telling my dad, my dad was like, well, if you graduated high school, what are you doing now? And I remember telling him, I was like, well, I joined the army. And he said, bullshit. And so I called my recruiter, Sergeant Edwards, Master Sergeant Edwards, and he came over and talked to my mom and dad. And they were dumbfounded. They were like, well, you did it. And at that point, there was no going back. I signed a contract, and then I signed 3 more. So, and I still feel to this day those contracts don't expire. I'm here if my country needs me again, but hopefully it never comes down to that again. It's kind of sickening about how many people we're losing to suicide, but also like just destructive behavior. Like I was doing a lot of crazy stuff where just to fill that gap of the adrenaline that I was missing. I had a dangerous job. We were doing crazy shit, and we lived by the seat of our pants. You get away from that stuff, and you still need to fill that void somehow. And there's a healthy way to do it, and there's an unhealthy way to do it. And I've been down the dark road, and a lot of guys have too, and a lot of guys haven't come out of it. And that's a giant part of the reason why we're losing so many dudes right now, so many service members. We're going to lose more people to suicides and these accidents that are avoidable than we did from the enemy killing our guys overseas. If we haven't already, I don't know what the numbers are, but it's not good. I just encourage everybody to get out there, get off, get off your ass and do something about it. Never was it acceptable in my line of work to accept defeat or quit. So those things don't have expiration dates. Those oaths don't expire. They never expire. So I just want to encourage other people and other vets to don't give up and just keep fighting.